Hey guys, getting ready to go live. A little tipsy. Getting ready to go live with Imans in a little bit. Do my little ones and twos. Talk about today's eclipse in Sagittarius. See how you guys are doing before I log in. I believe in 45 minutes I go on. Hey, I am Queen Chris. Didar Knight, I believe is how you pronounce it. Thank you so much. Hello. Tara M. Floyd. Yeah, definitely a mood. R. Mercado. But yeah, checking in with you guys, seeing how you guys are doing. A little buzzed. I had a nice little margarita a little while ago after I finished my readings for the day. So I'm feeling good. Feeling great. Hey, along came Jen. How are you? Heidi Sakaza. How are you? Real right, Ty, how's it going? How are you? Hello 301, Shadi, how are you? Thank you so much. I am Queen Chris, as do you. What's up? Says closing time 05. Same old, just, just here in Louisiana, living life, enjoying the Lord's blessings. Michaelatus right now, feeling good. You know what's so funny? When I lived in Los Angeles, I always meant to try Michaelatus, but I never, that's how you pronounce it. Michaelatus, but I never did. Thank you so much, Lotus Flower 07. I appreciate that. How are you feeling about the lunar full moon? It's so funny because everyone's talking about how they taking naps today. I haven't taken naps. I wanted to take a nap, but I was just way too awake. Thank you so much, Exo I was way too awake and hyped up from this kombucha I drank, and I was just reading about how everyone was waking up from naps and taking naps and stuff like that. Lately, I've been on this like early 2010s music binge. Like I've been listening to a lot of 2010s Calvin Harris, an example. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's from England. His name is Example. I'm listening to him a lot today. And a lot of old music from 2010, 2013, 2010 through 2013. Modelo Green Tall Can says the Kaleda. Okay, I'll get that. Love you too, Cheeky Kiki. My pleasure. So yeah, I wanted to check into you guys. Yeah, Nostalgia. Oh yeah, that's another album I've been listening to. Dua Lipa, aka Dula Peep. Nostalgia Ultra, really good album. Along with Harry Styles, Fine Line. How are you guys feeling post the protests? I'm glad people are getting justice, and that's what I'm going to be talking about on tonight's live with Imans, and how, why does it look like I have a black eye? Tonight's live with the Mons because, the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipses, I believe that we're heading into. No. Lunar eclipses, because there were solar eclipses in the North Node would be in Sagittarius. They're all. Well, that's not true. Because you can have a solar eclipse in Capricorn, we have one in December. Long story short, all about justice. Jupiter is all about justice, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. We practice tropical astrology. So, with these eclipses, I really feel like a lot of racial inequality that, America has been suffering from, the things are coming to roost. And that's what I feel is sugars in a whole entire mouth. Yeah, I didn't like watermelon sugar at first, but I like it now. But yeah, I definitely feel like that's what the Sagittarius eclipses, and especially lunar and solar eclipses, will be bringing us. Oh, thank you so much, Melanie and Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people are drained during eclipses. A lot of people aren't feeling the vibes. A lot of people are mentally exhausted, like parts of a fern I've been a few protests in the past few days. Yeah, I feel, it's been a little nerve-wracking seeing pictures and videos of Los Angeles, my hometown, be boarded up and look like a police state. But, I'd rather it be a police state based off of, Americans' right to protest as opposed to being a police state based off of COVID-19. And I really feel like the crazy part about it is I really feel like a lot of people are looking for an excuse to believe all the conspiracy theories, COVID was a hoax, but real people died because of that. People really couldn't breathe and all that shit because of that COVID-19. So it's like if the numbers go down based off of the infection rate, that's great. That's a really good thing because it was a really scary time at the beginning of the year. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily a hoax because people actually died from it. South side of Chicago. Anxiety can be a symptom of the lunar eclipse, absolutely. Because the moon is associated with our emotions. And if you know any cancers who are ruled by the moon, they suffer from anxiety attacks. The moon is fast changing. Ouch. What's wrong with my arm tonight? Police brutality here in Chicago has been awful. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I haven't been to Chicago since 2012, so. But when I was, the people were very rude. It was a beautiful city, but they just weren't nice to me. They just weren't. Because I remember I went to McDonald's somewhere, and it was like on a hill or something, and it was by a freeway. And I went to McDonald's, and the food was super expensive, and the people were rude when I was there. But that was 2012. Not that that means that they deserve police brutality, but I'm just, bringing a full circle. I am the moon. The tension is thick in New York, says Stephanie Lucia. Yeah, I haven't been to New York yet, but I can only imagine that's the epicenter. That's the center of the universe. So I can only imagine everything starts there. Not Los Angeles, but really everything starts there. But I can only imagine the energy being thick there. I feel strong and at peace. I do too. I really felt like my guides and my ancestors and my spirits wanted me to come out to the country during all this social unrest. Astro Tea Time, hello. During all this social unrest, I feel like there's definitely purpose behind it. It was definitely necessary. It's definitely a divine plan for me to be out here with my mother during this time, because I'm sure it'd be like hell trying to get out of Los Angeles right now had I had waited. So many thunderstorms. We're in DC. I saw some thunderstorms were happening in DC. Thunderstorms happen all the time here in Louisiana. New Jersey. I'm an Aquarius with Aquarius moon. I feel so much anxiety. Might be because of your Uranus or Saturn being retrograde on top of your moon and your sun. Even though it may not be at 0 degrees, you still have Saturn in your sign on top of your sun and your moon, and then you have Uranus square your sun and your moon in Aquarius. Storming in Atlanta. Do your ancestors condone association with white people? My stepfather's white. My mother's husband is white. I don't believe so. I don't believe my ancestors condone my association with white people. I don't hate white people. I hate what white people have historically done as a race, but I don't wake up in the morning thinking about how much I hate white people. I've definitely been mistreated by white people, especially in the workforce, my work environment. But no, I feel like if they or didn't condone me, I guess, associating with white people, it would definitely be evident. But I went to an all-white high school my whole life, most of my life. 4 years of high school, but even before that, I was mostly going to white schools. And I went to a PWI. A couple of years I went to college. Hello, naturally, sweet Shay. A couple of years I went to college. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of hoodoo spiritual workers are very much anti-white people. I'm not necessarily for white people practicing what it is called, quote unquote, hoodoo specifically. However, I don't wake up in the morning with, 100% hatred for white people like some do. Not saying all, but I definitely feel like some spend a lot of time, energy, and effort on being anti-white when you can really heal a lot of your ancestors and generational wounds. Not saying that be kumbaya and all peaceful, but you can definitely heal a lot of your ancestral wounds by healing a lot of that hatred, and more so because I honestly feel we're in this realm at this time, in this day and this age, to definitely kind of tie up those nasty loose ends that were definitely put in place before us. But different strokes for different folks. People are on different journeys. I can't speak for what everyone else should be doing or how they should be practicing, but as far as me, I'm just not like that. Sag rising and Mercury and Sag here, I don't even know how to process these emotions. I'm the same. I'm Sag rising and Sag Mercury as well. I don't really feel like I'm emotional. Might be something else that's affecting your moon sign. I'm moon in Leo. It's making a trine. The moon is making a trine to my moon. Hate holds a lot of energy, absolutely. Hate definitely holds a lot of energy. I mean, there's definitely valid reasons, why certain people feel the way that they do, especially based off of the commercialization of hoodoo and African traditional practices and appropriation, that whole thing. I was reading today on Facebook. I'm in this Palo Mayombe group. Don't ask me why, but I have an interest in everything. That comes with my Sagittarian rising in Mercury, etc., Uranus, and something else I have in Sagittarius. Long story short, I'm in this Palo Mayombe group, and it was interesting because there was a debate in the group talking about how if you practice Palo, or if you can't be a priest in Palo and be a homosexual, because it's against. Because I guess a lot of the Palo Mayombe faith is based off of reproduction. It's kind of like you have to be very much kind of about reproducing in order to keep the faith going. They aren't necessarily as strict on whether other races can practice Palo Mayombe because they always knew that their religion, at least that's what the guy was saying, they always knew that their religion would grow all over the world. However, as far as homosexuality is concerned, there are things that gay people can practice within Palo Mayombe, but they're not allowed to be priests. And I found that really interesting from what I read. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I don't doubt it. And that's what I read in the Facebook group. But honestly, I take it with a grain of salt. Until I meet someone who actually practices it, that's when I'll accept that message. Not that I'm planning to practice Palo Mayombe, but it's like what you read on social media, it's supposed to lead you down that rabbit hole in order to find the right information for yourself. Doesn't mean that the conclusions that you come up with are necessarily right or necessarily accurate, because it all depends on how much time and effort you put in to coming to those conclusions. But I definitely don't let 30 minutes of reading a thread on Facebook make me come up with my conclusions on what I think about a religion. Naughty Not Nice 28, I love you as well. Yeah, they aren't allowed to be priests. That's what I don't like about the religions. I mean, it's neither here nor there. You know, when I talked to Azalea Banks, who's like, you know, one of my friends, and not to name drop or brag, but like she talks about, well, she was telling me how she's a Palera. And I mean, I guess she's straight. I don't really know. I haven't studied too much of her dating history, and she hasn't talked about it in detail to the degree to where it's like I would know her to date women, but I just find it interesting that she practices that, or I guess she says that she's a priestess in Palo. So that was my whole thing today, because I was reading that and I was thinking about her and what she told me, how she told me she was a Palera, as she put it. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. But it's like I've only seen her with white men. Not that there's an issue, but I've only seen her with men. She's appropriation. She's a fun gal. I'll say that much. She's brilliant. She's very intelligent. I'll tell you that much. You know, a little troubled, but all of us are. But yeah, she's a very kind girl. Very sweet. Very kind. You know, young. She's very young. And, you know, she's learning. Definitely learned a lot from her and their interactions that I've been having with her. Lakia, let me know. I think you've been getting readings from Anja 11 or Sierra. So that's why I thought that you've been preoccupied with readings. Come to San Francisco. I plan on coming to San Francisco. My father no longer lives there, so it's like I haven't been quite some time, but I definitely plan on going. I already did 2 readings just now. That's my daily limit. My ancestors, my guides, and my energetic threshold can only handle so many readings. And it's late. I haven't moved to Dallas yet. I'm still at my mom's house because it's like been in and out in regards to whether we're in quarantine or not. So it's like, it's so late. My mom would probably have a fit if I'm up talking about someone's personal life this late. Like, that's why I'm like trying to be as low as possible. Come to Miami. I definitely plan on doing so. Teach me all my ways. I'm learning all my ways myself. What do you think about witches planning hex and white supremacy tonight? I'm for it. Thank you so much, Lakia. Yeah, I'm against white supremacy. White supremacy has done nothing but terrorism, and it's unfortunate. But I feel like with recent events, you know, definitely by Pluto and Aquarius generation, that, you know, KKK and any other white supremacy groups will definitely be labeled terrorist groups, because, you know, Pluto and Aquarius is all about change and innovation, and more so kind of transforming the collective on a grand scale. I don't know what's wrong with that. On a grand scale. So if they're in the terrorist group now, they will be by 2025, 2024, 25, so on and so forth. Pluto will be in Aquarius for a good 20 years, so we got time. Thank you so much, Queen Majesty 69. With the lunar eclipse and Sag, a lot more is going to be exposed. Yeah, you know, it's all about kind of the truth and moving away more so kind of, it's like, what is the truth and what are we going to do with it? And where are we going to move more towards? What do we know? What do we know, says the North Node in Gemini? What do we know now that we've learned the truth and moved past it? Is this year going to get better? 2021 definitely is a lot mellower. 2022, definitely more positive. Jupiter will be in the sign that it rules, along with Neptune. So there won't be any crazy squares other than the North Node. Or I think the North Node won't be in Gemini in 2022. Oh, I'm missing the movie. I'm watching This Is 40. I forgot This Is 40 was on and I was watching it. But yeah. Why aren't people looting and vandalizing the botanicas? Because they know better. Because those places are spiritually protected. That's why. I've never heard of anyone stealing from a botanica because it's like, what are you doing walking around with cursed product? You steal it, it's cursed automatically. Fruit Farm shirt. Oh yeah, from Target. Yeah. It takes place in Staten Island. We shot almost the entire movie on Staten Island. Well, Dad's still dead because the movie is about nurses. 9:31. I wonder why it won't let me save these lives. I've been meaning to save these lives, but it only goes on to, it only lets me turn it into like a IG story or IG movie or whatever it's called. What botanica did you go to? You changed the rules. Already? It's not 10:30. Oh well, apparently Iman's needs me on live, so I'm gonna go on live. All right, talk to you later.